Hello and welcome to 5 Minutes in the Shed. So it's been about a month now since I did a video. Various reasons. Well, you can tell it's been a month. I mean, you know, I've got like inch longer hair and inch longer beard, and but here we are, back in the shed again. I've been a bit busy. I've been putting an ensuite bathroom in a bedroom. Bit of a nightmare. It's one of those tiny little rooms which takes like way more effort than fitting a kitchen. You know, it's one of those. Actually, I'll put some pictures up here, some pictures of it if you want to take a look. Here it is now. So, as you can see, I've been kind of busy. So that's been like 3 or 4 weekends and loads of evenings. And anyway, all done now. So, back on the bike, which is good. So, first thing to do this time, I'm going to try a little bit of science again. Okay, so as you may all know, when I've been putting this bike together, I've been cleaning nuts and washers, right? And that is a real pain in the fingertips, especially if you just give them a little rub on sandpaper and stuff like that. Absolute nightmare, right? So, bit of science. I saw something like this the other day and I thought, I can do better than that. So, this bit of science involves a jam jar, a modified jam jar lid, which, let me bring it in a bit for a closer look. Right, this has got a bolt put through the jam jar lid, right, like so. So we've got a modified jam jar like that. We've got a battery drill in my portable mini vise right here. So all we need now is the dirty nuts and washers and bolts and stuff that I want to clean. Hang on. Okay, so here's a few old parts. They've got bits of paint on them, and they're a bit rusty and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean these, right, by sand blasting them. Right, now, first of all, I need to put them in the jar without smashing the glass. Right, that's key. Care point, I think you call that. Right, so put all these things in here. Now we need some media to clean those up. Right, now I thought about going for baking soda, but I don't know if it's kind of sharp enough, right? So I'm going to blasting sand, but I have got some sharp sand. Right, so I'm going to put some sharp sand in to the jar. Like that. Dry sharp sand, obviously. Right. Mix them up a bit. Put the lid on like that. And I'm going to put them in the battery drill like that. See, this is why you need the handy portable vise. Alright. So tighten that up a little bit without smashing the plastic. Okay. Now, as you probably know, probably aware, battery drills don't have a trigger thing to hold the trigger in. So, I've got a trigger holding device. Right? So if I start down here, and then pull the trigger. Right. I'll set the speed to a good tumble speed when it's going round. Alright. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave that for an hour, and then I'm going to come back and see what they look like. Right then, science lesson over, back to the TriBSA. Now, I've got, I think the last episode, which was episode 33, I think, so that's some, you know, so this is episode 34, wow. Right, last episode I'd made some brackets for the top of the engine, for the coil and stuff like that, looking to wire all the engine up. And we also had a look at the space we've got in the middle of the frame here, so I can get battery and regulator, all that kind of stuff in, which I'll need to get everything going. In the meantime, I've got a couple of bolts and nuts and stuff that I need to do on the gearbox to make that finished, because there's no clutch cable in there at the moment. So I'm going to, I think now, I'm going to take the cover off, put the clutch cable in, and put these two studs in, put the nuts on, make that final fit on there, which is cool. What I have got, two shiny nuts and bolts, which is nice. I've got clutch cable here, and I've got this. Now this, let me bring it in close. Oh, can you see that? That is a little rubber grommet which fits in there, and then that waterproofs the cable entry into the thing. That's like 10 quid or something crazy. Anyway, needed one. It's got to be proper. So yeah, that's the job I'm going to do now. Right, well then. So that didn't go as expected, and I'll tell you why it didn't go as expected. Because, alright, let me just check that's in frame so you can see it. Yeah, you can. Alright, so this little rubber grommet, alright, if I took the clutch cable out for a moment, like that, this little rubber grommet is supposed to go in that recess there. Right, so in like that. Now, is that in? Yeah, that's all the way in. Well, that's all the way in, but you can see how proud that sits. Right, that is not in line with that surface there. Now, on the bike, that's a dead straight casting, right? So, if you imagine the equivalent is a dead straight casting across there, that's where it's supposed to fit, and there's no way in the world that that fits in there unless I cut it down. So I'm wondering, do I just leave it out or do I cut it down? If I leave it out, right, then the cable is just the right size to sit in there. So if I put that around the cable, might just fit in. I'm going to have to cut most of it off, which seems a bit weird. Bit of a quandary. I'm going to have a little play with this and see what I'm going to do. Right, so okay, I've measured, I've trimmed, so here's all my trimmings. Right, even with only half of it there, in there, the thickness of this rubber just makes it sit too proud, and there's no way I'll get a seal on the gasket face. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to do it the old-fashioned way, and I'm just going to put it in without anything in the hole, and when I've put it on the bike then I'll stick some sealant around the top of it and just seal it in. That's the only thing I can think of. Bit of a shame, but yeah, that's what I'm going to have to do. Right, so I need to clean all this old Hylamar off, scrape that off, and then put a new load on with the clutch cable installed. And when that's done, then we can put it on and it can stay on. So then, the clutch is on the bike, clutch cover is installed finally. So that's all good, and it works, which is nice. I'll run the DTI around the clutch plate for another time just to make sure it's absolutely running true. But apart from that, yeah, looking pretty good. So, my experiment with the sandblasting in a jar. Right, let's see. First of all, let's get the drill out. Okay. Let's take that out of there. Let's just check you can see all right. Let's just angle you down a little bit. Okay. So, let's see. Right there. Now, I learned something about battery drills today, and that is if you keep it on with the trigger pressed, it times out after 5 minutes. Maybe that's so if you leave it in your toolbox and it gets pressed, it times out. I don't know. So I've restarted it a few times, so I've probably got about 20-25 minutes on these bolts. Let's see if it worked. Can you see on the camera there? Did it work? Did it